everyone, it's Riley. Today I am 100 days free of self-harm. Woo! To celebrate, I thought I could give you my tips to prevent self-harm and to stay safe. 1. Get a day counting app. Yes, it might sound weird, but it's really helped me. If you see you're at 3 days and want to get to 5, it really gives you that motivation to keep on going. It reminds you can be without self-harm for 19 days, so it sure as hell means that you can be without it for 1 more. Set goals. Say I'm not going to self-harm for 10 days. Then when you reach 10, I'm not going to self-harm for 20 days. And then 30, and then 40, and then you realize you're at 100. And you don't want that number 99 to go down to 0 just because of a weak moment. If you've gotten this far, you can do 1 more day. It's just 1 more day. You can do this. And if you can do 1 day, you sure as hell can do 100. Number 2, alternatives. Find something you can do that satisfies the urge to self-harm. For example, some things I used to do was get red watercolor paint and drip it on my skin, or use a rubber band or a hair tie and clap it on my wrist. Another thing I used to do was clap my hands as hard as I could for as long as I could until it started stinging. Something that really helped me was slashing magazines or drawing on a body part. You just have to find something that gives you the satisfaction of self-harming without actually hurting yourself. Number 3, distract yourself. Now, if you feel like you're going to self-harm, before you turn to the alternatives, try and find something to distract yourself. Do something you love. You don't have to be good at it, just as long as it relaxes you or it's something you love. You could draw, you could paint, you could sing, dance, whatever makes you happy, whatever distracts you from self-harming, do that. Maybe try meditation to get a sense of your body that brings you back to a logical state. 4, write yourself a list for what you do when you're in this state. It's really easy to forget what you should do in this situation because it's usually a rash decision. So if you have a little notebook where you can write things like, I should meditate, I should draw, I should sing, I should dance, something that reminds you that you don't have to do this. Even if it's motivational quotes that makes you think that you don't have to do this, or it tells you to watch a video to not self-harm. You need to write tips down that help you, things that remind you not to self-harm. Self-harm won't make it better. The only thing it leaves you with is a scar that won't go away. Just because you have scars or cuts on your body doesn't mean you should have any more. Safety. Self-harm is really dangerous. If you've hurt yourself, you have to tell someone. You have to tell a responsible adult. And if you think you've gone too far, you have to call 000. You have to go to a responsible adult that can help you. You shouldn't be doing this. If someone you know is self-harming, you shouldn't deal with it yourself. You need to go to a responsible adult, regardless of what you promise them, regardless of them saying don't tell anyone. If it's an emergency and no one else is around to help, call 000. Number 6, self-harm is 100% preventable and it does not have to be an option. There are thousands of websites, articles, blogs, YouTube videos talking about different ways and alternatives to not self-harm, different strategies that you can go through to make sure you don't self-harm. If you're struggling with it, the idea that it's not necessary may seem ridiculous, that it's the only thing keeping you here, that it's the only thing helping you. It's not true, and it's not worth it. What self-harm is doing is the exact opposite. It is worsening your anxiety. It's worsening your depression. I'm not saying I'm a psychologist. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I've dealt with this. I've gone through this. What I'm trying to say is it's not impossible. If I can do it, you can do it. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that any or hopefully all of these tips might have helped you. I know it's really scary to tell people, especially the ones that you care about. But the thing is, if you don't tell anyone, it's not going to get any better. If you can't reach out for help, it's not going to get any better. You have to tell someone, if it's a psychologist, if it's a parent, if it's a friend. You have to make sure that this stops, because this is doing nothing but worsening your mental health. People are so much more understanding than you think they are. It's really important to get away from your bad habits, and trust me, it's worth it. If you really think you don't have anyone to talk to, my email is in the description below. There's also going to be extra links and tips down below if you ever need it. There are a lot of places that you can go to get help, but you need to get help. You can't do this alone, but I promise you, reaching out is worth it. Getting better is worth it, and it's possible. You are worth it. You are worth self-recovery. You are worth love. You are worth it. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a beautiful day. Mwah.